you guys are having a great time. And to pick the energy a bit, we're going to talk about something that all are familiar with, which is wallets. You guys are using this every single day, and they are bad. So we're bringing something that will revolutionize the way you're actually interacting with your crypto, sending it back and forth with Swiss Fortress. So what are the problems? Three problems. Number one, security. Millions and millions of money being stolen every single day, right? Like no one can question that. Just a month ago, $1.5 billion stolen from Bybit, and we don't even know how much is being stolen from retail every single day. Why? Because of the phishing, because of the address poisoning. Those are the two matters that are rampant those days. Problem number two, how do I use my wallet? It's really complicated. You've got a ton of different networks. You've got a ton of different addresses. It's really cumbersome. And imagine bringing your grandma to that space. That's literally impossible, right? And the third problem is lack of trust. How do I know where the money goes to? How do I make sure that this is the right counterparty? There is lack of trust that is based in the technology flaws that we have to fix. And now, how do we want to do that? And just to give you a bit of statistics, these are the money being stolen due to hacks. And even the biggest guys, such as Binance, they are facing that problems all the time. They're receiving addresses, custodian addresses are being poisoned, and someone else is taking the money instead of the custodian. So how do you fix that? Well, what we're building at Swiss Fortress is basically a fully fledged technology that's a next generation non-custodial system. We start with easy to use and easy to read names. So you can have a name like John, and anyone can send you money to that name. I'll get into details in a second, but any type of crypto. So it's a PayPal-like experience, Revolut-like experience. Second thing, how do you build trust? You need a communication layer. So for that purpose, we build a private and encrypted chat, end-to-end encrypted within your wallet. And then the third part is KYC credentials. In case you need or you want to share who you are with your counterparty before you start interacting with them, you can do that with our off-chain crypto proofs of enhanced self-sovereign identity. And that's all underpinned by Fortress Coin, which is basically a token that secures the names and all the infrastructure. So let me just walk you through the wallet itself. Let me just jump into the tech, because nothing explains is better than a quick demo. So let me know if you can see the screen. So at first glance, it just looks like a regular wallet. We've got here, this is the beta of our wallet. It's out of Switzerland. We've got Casper, we've got Ethereum, we've got a bunch of other coins and tokens. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make a transaction out of it. So you can obviously receive, let's say, ETH. You can generate the address. That's the old way. That's the old fashioned. That's boring. No one wants that. But here above, you can see this is my name, Jakub Z. And I'm going to use that name in order to send some money. So let's say I want to send 0.002 ETH to someone from my address book. So that could be Michał. I just click next. I just use my PIN and click send. And voila, that's the whole experience. That's how you send money. And now if you go to Ethereum, you will see that transaction to Michał is already pending. Right? In a second, we will see that on-chain. We can actually go to the Explorer. We can look up the previous transaction. So that's running on Sepolia testnet. This is the 2 address. So we'll see here in a bit the transaction that just happened. That was the previous transaction from 4 hours ago. And that one should turn green in a second. But that's basically the whole experience of the Swiss Fortress wallet. Let me check if that's already sitting in. Still loading. Yeah, here. But you've got a payment code, you've got the time, you've got amount, you've got transaction hash. So what happened? I've just sent money to a name through the beta. There is an encrypted chat also, and there's an SSI under development. So let me break it down for you, what's actually going on. In terms of the send to name, the main question is, how does it differ from ENS? How does it differ from Unstoppable? How does it differ from all those other send to name kind of systems? And the answer is privacy. In our send to name system, no one knows how much money Mihao has because they cannot tell all his receiving addresses. Because what happened when I sent him money was my wallet compute together with Mihao receiving address that is unique for me and Mihao. So if Amr would be sending money to Mihao, it would land on a completely different address under that same name. And that's how you get a completely private name that you can put on your website, you can put it on your invoice, you could put it on your socials, and anyone can send you any type of crypto to it, but no one knows how much money you have. Now, that's not only that. It works across all chains. We're now introducing another chains that we're working with, including Cardano Midnight, Arbitrum Polygon, all those different protocols, ICP, etc., that are going to be added to the wallet. On top of that, we are going to sell domains. So our business is selling domains, selling those names. And we're going to do it ourselves, plus our partners. And there is no way that someone guesses how much money you have and guesses your receiving addresses under that name. Encrypted chat is a way to share the messages, and it's also a way to communicate any type of verified credentials that you might have with your counterparty. And it's very easy to operate. So unlike PGP, which is fairly complicated for regular users, this allows for seamless communication between counterparties directly from your wallet. It's end-to-end encrypted with your private key sitting in the wallet. And that's how it could look like, right? So you can share the full identity credentials to your counterparty before you make a transaction, or you can share just part of it. It's completely voluntary. So imagine you do the KYC with third-party provider. We take it as a cryptographic proof. We attach it to your name. And then you, as a user, you can shoot it over to your counterparty whenever you want. And we also build an NFC hardware wallet that actually understands the names, understands the chat, understands the crypto credentials. And we build it together with Tangem, Samsung, and Matify out of US. And we're going to white label those as well. So how does the competitive matrix look like? Right? So we've talked about FIO, we talked about ENS, we talked about Unstoppable. The key issue is this part. Centralized or decentralized databases of receiving addresses. That means that it's easy to look up the balances and history. And what does it mean? Zero privacy and a security threat. If someone knows how much money you have, you're a target. So that triggers security risk. And this is because of the static addresses that are associated with those systems. And some of them only work with couple of chains or are EVM specific. Swiss Fortress is a completely different story, as I told you. Like a bit of technicalities here. So what actually happens on the back end when I'm sending money to a certain name is that I take my private key that I know. My wallet knows my private key, obviously. And I take a public key that is associated with a particular name, let's say Mihao in this case. And I do Diffie-Hellman computation that gives me value X, which is a shared secret between me and Mihao. And based on that shared secret, which is a value X, I can index any receiving address for Mihao on any chain that's going to be unique for me and Mihao. So if someone else is sending money to Mihao, it will land on a different address under the same name, but there's no way someone else computes the same name, the same address, because they are unique, because they're based on computation derived from our private keys. So that's how you make privacy work without compromising on compliance. Because we're not mixing, we're not bridging, everything runs on their native blockchains, no problem. How big is the market? Market is huge. This is understatement. 500 million people, they were about here in 2023. Imagine what happens with all the deregulation and all the changes that are happening those days. And the main barrier for all the newbies to come over was difficulty of use. How do I use those systems? How do I use my digital asset wallet? So we're solving that problem completely. And what's the distribution model? We, as I mentioned, we build that technology as a white label infrastructure. So we want to give it away to all the protocols, all the projects, so that they can use that tag within their stack. So who are the clients? Wallets, taxes, dexes, everyone. KOLs that want to distribute the names, no problem. So we built, as Swiss Fortress, we build a wallet and we build decentralized database of those names. And we incentivize all the other guys to use that technology as a white label on top of what they have. Because the money that we make on sales of the names, 25% of that goes to the channel partner. That could be MetaMask, that could be Trust Wallet, that could be any of you guys. So not only you get better experience for your users, you get much better security, you get privacy, but also you make money on distributing that tech. So these are some rough numbers of what can be made out of it. We've got some tentative pricing for a name per year, so like $10 or $100 for a lifetime subscription. And the top level names, this is where the fun begins. They can be super valuable. You know how valuable are today's Web2 domains? They can go to hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is the new Web2 domains. So what do we do in terms of the token? Why do we even need the token? We sell those domains. So we don't want to run the database of the names that has been bought ourselves. We want it to be decentralized. And that's why we need a token to secure that database. So the main utility of the token is to secure the database of the names that has been bought. So whenever someone buys a name, we lock part of the tokens out of supply so that the value of the tokens grows. So it's deflationary by design. We are based in Switzerland. We've got a detailed white paper on our website, so you can look it up. We are one of the few projects, actually one of the first ones, that has been published on the FMSA. So we are MiCA compliant. We secured a registered name, signaling chat, and cryptographic proofs that are being shared between the users. Yes, and the main issue, the key point is we enable that simple, seamless private transactions. What we do here, we want to introduce you to investing in the first private round in the Fortress coin. We are here at the private round 1. We are happy to be working with DNA and be part of their deal desk. So we're happy to have them as backers and partners. And probably there will be no second round. Like that's our estimation from the interest that we get right now. And we're planning some text listing. We already have got secured text listing at Liechtenstein exchange called LCX, and we're now in talks with some other exchanges. In terms of the target token distribution, this is what we believe makes a ton of sense. So most of the tokens will be dedicated for treasury and user incentives. Vesting schedule for the private round 1 that we are in right now is 10% liquidity at the TGE and then 12 months linear vesting. And for the private round 2, supposedly 24 months linear vesting. Current round is at half a penny per token. We sell no more than 7.5% of the total supply, and the funding is going to be exclusively used for the deployment and the tech development. So what's the roadmap? This is the roadmap. We're now talking to a few exchanges, as I said. We're going to develop the network. We're going to do the token text listings. Mainnet goes live, and then we do the mainnet swap. So who are we dealing with? Who are we working with? So first of all, we're proud to be partners with Mice and More. So whenever you buy a name, actually you can already buy a name, 6 characters plus on our website. And we're partnered with Mice and More, so you get also miles. We're going to onboard more of those institutional partners in the near future. We're partnered with DNA, we're partnered with Matify out of UX, LCX, Crypto Exchange out of Liechtenstein, Quibi out of Switzerland, and Lunar Digital Assets, a venture studio out of US. And the important part is that the beta is already out there, so make sure to check it out. It runs on a couple of testnets. Just shoot us over your name, and I'll just send you to that name a couple of testnet coins, so you can play with with your friends. And we've got 9 patents pending. So all that tag that I just described, even if it may sound pretty simple, it's not. It's 9 patents embedded into 15 inventions. We're headquartered in Switzerland. This is the team. So we've got Amr Bukhora, who is just here. We've got Will Adams, who's the board member as well. Over here, we've got a tech team, including Michal, who's been a white hat hacker for the US government. We've got Billy Mullins, who's the CTO. He's been a senior vice president at Goldman, and a bunch of other incredible folks, including Karina as a CMO, Clara, myself, Adrian's Dunchik Crypto Burp, and Michael Turpin as both investor and advisor. Yeah, so please feel free to come over to DNA Deal Desk. That's the link, and you can invest there directly. If you have got any questions, let me know. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much.